Right, so this is a quick lowdown on how I do bases in my Mission Ragged Alliance. Right, so I have like something that I call the anchor building. That is like the building for which the terrain is scanned for. And if it finds one of these buildings, the script knows, oh, okay, I can use that as the anchor, object for a base, right? So and then like everything relative to this position is how it's then gonna end up with a few ifs and whens and buts. Right, so, and then this is called the flag, and these variable names matter. They are used like for the script to detect the base units for now. Right, yeah, so what else do I need? I need the cargo net, and I've just so far always defaulted to using the CSAT unit. It doesn't matter what the inventory is, it's just to know how it's being placed, and to for yourself to judge as a map editor how to, we'll see how that works. Then you need the map, which is used in locations to teleport, and for now and whatever, like it's I suppose, okay, would have figured that out, and you can so far set any map. Like, I'm not scanning or setting the texture of the map yet, I mean, I suppose if I make the script and it's supposed to run, well, you can't run out of the box on every terrain because it needs to know the buildings, but in theory it does. It will then just create generic bases of which it itself, I could also set it to use the anchor building as a building being placed itself, not necessarily as, right. Did I name this? Yeah, right. A map, an ammo box, and a flag pole. Right. Anything else? Yeah. So the player unit then. The also it doesn't really matter. So, but I just use also really just matters what he's called. 0, right? GU player 0. GU is my naming convention for like variables. G is global in the context that it is global in the code, and U is for unit, and that seems to be, with the underscore, seems to be enough to disambiguate it from anything else that's being used, so I'm just going to stick with it, so I don't get any naming collisions at all. Right, and then I need a few more units, and crap, that's exactly what's not supposed to happen. He's not supposed to be in his in his own squad, not part of the player squad. And then he's named guard02, guard whatever, how many you want, basically. However, the strength of the squad, basically, alone he would be 25%, so basically 4 is the base unit. If you want to have like a bigger squad, then you would have to have more than, and that itself is then also multiplied by the in progress, and then the params that you set, and etc. etc. So that's just as the base. Like you can have a really small base, and you can either use the script to figure out how small is the base and how many should I place, or you do a combination of both actually, and you can basically manually. I think I don't have any overrides for the guard. Like if there's no guard, there is no guard. There will only be a patrol, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to check myself. Anyway, just one squad, guard squad, full strength. That's it. All right, and the position of those guys doesn't really matter if they're in the way. Just move them out of the way. Yeah, so that's where you want the unison to be. Also, like this main spawn point of that thing, of that squad. And where the player is basically when he teleports in where he's going to be, and that's usually with the map in such a way that right. So I'm just gonna let's see. I thought earlier about something that might work for this. Right. So this is definitely too big, or I don't know. Let's see if we use this area here. Yeah, she's gonna kind of jiggle it a bit. Yeah, okay, that's maybe there is a program. What is it? Wait, what? Its rotation is 0? No, that's the anchor building, yeah. this here, what is it, 150? It's gotta be, if it says 150 is probably the value then. And now it should be mostly parallel, I suppose, because hexagon, so it's something with 30 or 60 then. Right, and then let's just, maybe just turn on, wait, what? Oh, yeah, that makes sense, of course. Right, slightly to this, and then I think you need to readjust it a bit to that, and maybe not too. Yeah, okay, that kind of should somehow work, I suppose. Okay, where do I put the map now? I could also, I guess, use the other map, or here maybe? I'm not quite sure if this would work, but let's see. Up to there, and it's, well, that's a really tight fit, holy shit. It's actually too tight a fit, but like, is it enough for it to, or is it, it's something that you can, I think, let's say, aesthetically forgive. Such that that is just slightly, and what is then here the, yeah, that could suffice. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just roll with it. We could also put it here, I guess, and then, yeah, that would, right, let's, or did I plan to put the map inside? No, this is rotation, this is counterclockwise, so it should be 270. Every time. That's new every time though. Usually before it was the wrong rotation every time, now it's the wrong unit selected every time, okay. Yeah. Dude, I guess they don't cancel each other out. Oh my god. Wait, what? They don't, one cancels the other out? They don't cancel each other out, okay. I'm supposed to get greener, yeah, there we go. Oh wait, this is why it's practical if you set it. One of these has to be, it's probably this value. Yeah. And then, is that fine? That is, okay, a little bit too. Right, so like that, turn red, okay, and then, okay. Yeah, it's rear mounted with, I don't know, something. Let's just remove those 2 centimeters, and then, oh, come on, really? Okay, what is that? Given the 10 centimeters, okay. Wait, well, that's of course that thing again. Oh my god, sorry. Fine. Right, and then I set the box out, and then this rotation is not 150 again. This should be 180, or then just 0. Yeah, no. Actually, no, let's exactly center that as well. And maybe let's have the slightly broader side. Okay, about like that. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, and then there was this pillbox wall thingamajiggy. What? Sharp blunt? Oh, okay. Yeah, no blunt. Right, no, let's do this all pretty exact. 90, I guess. Okay, yeah, that should work. Yeah, let's yeah, slightly like that, and then maybe we could no. Okay, because I think in the thing in where these are placed, there's definitely one where there's, or a few, I think, even where that's right in front of it. So if I place the ammo box there, I still want to have that cover there. That is very sensible cover. Wait, oops. Doesn't matter. Let's just get the X value about right. Okay, and the guard should be spawning, yeah, here as well. And again, let's also do everything pretty exact, except for the X part. Okay. One of these can definitely be just 4,000, and then we just need to adjust him again. Attributes. Wait, am I editing the group now? No. Wait. The play rotation is 90 degrees. Right, okay, so, and then we reset this all to 4,000 exactly, so it's all nice in one line. Except for if any of these parts have any internal offsets. Okay, maybe that flagpole might be a little bit in the way. Maybe this might also be a little bit too close that it might say it's a collision object, but we'll soon find out. Okay, now next would be going into saving it first, I suppose, yeah. This is, well, obviously arbitrary, but the convention is 1 is a anchor building, 0 is a generic one. That means no anchor building, just place it on the map. 3 is locality, as a location, local, I think, location type local, and 3 is just running index. Right, and Monkey is the original author of many of these buildings, who presently is unfortunately a bit busy. Right, so save, and right, and then wait, that was F9 there. Oh right, and then one folder up, and let's go in one that has, and then I think the server image, I copy that, and then go 133, paste it in there, and it basically references this here. If we check that out, it is, well, go to root folder, include this, which is this all. And it is now 365 lines, yeah. Yeah, if your profile name happens to be my internet alias, then your clipboard should get the contents of the base pasted. Otherwise, I think there is a function you could line copy, count, 2 matches. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. So, and then I start and play this in single player. Yes. Okay, so first let's test if the map is accessible. Can we still move around here freely? Yeah, that's easily possible. And okay, right, so now, and hide the outside objects. All right, awesome, yeah. And that also, of course, includes the soldiers, because their, how do you say, spawning position needs to be adjusted as well. To, how do you say, actually, yeah, depending on whether, you know, they're inside the building, then they would, you know, need to be, the Arma system would basically, otherwise, you know, if you're not at the center of the building, and, you know, it would take the position of the ground as a reference, and then, you know, it will place the units underground. So you basically have to first figure out where is the anchor of the building, figure out, what is the terrain position at where that, and, use that to add to that, basically, so that it spawns level in relation to the building. That is apparently a running problem in Arma, for which, there is this, I'm very unaware of what, Arma third-party community Arma code is out there. It's basically because I can do everything by myself, so, it's like, every time I need to try and find out what do I need for this, asking around which mods would you need, and there are so many of them, then, I could just basically code it myself, so that it's how should I say? Yeah, no offense. It's nothing personal, exactly. It's just, yeah, you wouldn't do it any different if you were me, right? So, yeah, we can actually place him in here. That'd be probably be cooler. And then rotate him. Yeah, facing outward. So that would be then 270. Right, and I said full strength. So, and I actually want to place. No, let's have that. Let's have that one single strength. And instead copy him, paste, and then we have guard 1 exactly and guard 2, right? And then we'll place these guys both here and here. Rotate this guy, I think is, no, 180 should be. And 0. 3996. Fine, just it's there. And what was it then? 4004. And yeah, and then let's just then send some. Oh yeah, no, we want this. It's just yeah. Yeah, player's got to deal with that. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Maybe he should be centered as well. No, not the guard here. Attribute. Oh, he is actually. Is he? He is centered, but his face is not. I don't know. I'm just gonna take that position and whatever, right? Yeah, and I think wait, the player needs to also be adjusted a bit. Yeah, there we go. And I did that for the other guy. Yeah, he's standing on his feet. And so are these because they were pasted here on the thing, and Arma does that automatically. Yeah. Okay. Save, and let's here. The base name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Should hide inside. Yeah, he's considered inside as well as the map. Show hide outside, and that will include all those other guys, right? So these guys, like, if it's this, if this is like higher on the terrain and this is lower, these guys are considered outside. So it will just, whatever the position is then there on terrain height, it will just take that. And if it's, it's supposed to be level because it's inside the building, it will then, take the building's, levelness factor. Or the like if he's now on top of the roof, it will have like the offset 2 meters to the top, and then it will take also the building level and then 2 meters to the top, and then also of course if there's an XY offset, then figure out what's the terrain distance, and this offset will then be added to the terrain distance, and set post world, I think, and that's it. That kind of works for pretty consistently good results. Right, so general, and not that in the init field g title equals 133. Okay, and save and play. Okay, let's hope that it has pasted this in. Yeah. Okay. Right. And I plan to make JSON from this, like JSON data, just as a first step, so that I can externalize these bases not as defines, but as files. There is load file JSON now possible in Arma, and that would be great because then I don't need to have these defines, and I'm in the process of refactoring the entire code and then making all that possible. Right. Control A, Control X, CRA, def base should be here. 1, 3, 3. Right. Okay, and right, and then you need one of these as well. And I have an Excel table, or it's an open office table. Of course, I'm just use that because people are probably more familiar with that term. But those are called spreadsheets. Yeah, the open source software is good enough for me for these purposes. I can use them to auto-generate these texts where I just add the thing, and then I have 3 or 4 things that I just need to copy paste, and that's fine enough for me. I don't need more. That's enough degree of automation for me. Right, so, and then, all these numbers would have to be redefined. And I've kind of tried around with the preprocessor macro counter, and it didn't really work anyway. Yeah, or now for the sake of brevity, I suppose, I can undo that actually. No, that was, undo, oh, redo, right, that's one, alright. And right, normally those indexes would, I suppose, be, and now we're gonna end this. Control C, Control V, 1, 3, 3. Call sign. It would normally be here, and then we'll call it pill box hex. And it would be 30. And what would it be in the same category as where the other bunker one is, which is here, miscellaneous S, okay. Right, Control V. Toolbox hex, yeah, okay. Control S, and then I need the, yeah, these are all things I basically need to do now because just the way of how it's built up, and maybe there will be like using a JSON would be the first step, and probably in the end that I just need to add the JSON and the rest would automatically figure itself out. But then I need to how should I say, standardize the spec a bit. Yeah. These are code optimizations basically. They're so that the code does not reference the entire. So it just pulls it from variable and doesn't actually paste the entire define, which into the that's yeah, never mind. Right. Right. This and that, and is that it? I'm not sure. I think that's it. I think now it should work. The only thing I did not do is that I normally do is I paste it in here so that these indexes are continuous. What I'm skipping now, and I think now if I go to Yaza Island, which is a location that has the same as Sovu Island as base configure available, it should now have that pillbox on Yaza Island. Right, so play multiplayer, okay. Params, hot loading, disable, okay, and what else? Oh yeah, collision should be right, and then there, right. Could of course upgrade it by adding some sandbags to the top and a static machine gun, and then putting that pier ladder there, and AI itself won't be able to use it, but if it spawns on the static, it won't get out of it. So that's also pretty cool. I think that's also the reason why I don't add them to the group of the thing, because the group leader of the guard thing will tell them to get out of the static or something. So yeah. Right, Yaza Island. Oh yeah, this is still the briefing screen, but yeah. Here. Is it? Yeah, there it is on the pillbox. Right, so let's just hear that it's, you know, in spawning distance. And oh, fortunately I have night vision. Oh yeah, maybe put that red light there. Right, so yeah, I removed this for I don't know what reasons. It shouldn't, but you know, somehow it does. I suppose. I mean, if I spawn somewhere else, maybe I don't know. But anyway, it's good enough, you know, basically. And he also, you know, basically spawns fine enough that he can sit down. Yeah, the map, you know, spawns relative to building, and these things here are all, you know, height adjusted. It does not compensate for angle elevation yet. I mean, that is another step, but you know, these calculations are run for every single base and are pre-calculated in the beginning, and that is why there is this hot and cold loading kind of thing, because calculating this for every base is possible, but it is, you know, work that needs to be generated or done at the beginning of the game, because doing this real time, you need to have a strong assure, or you need to basically require pretty fast hardware to do that, and this is one way you can get it to basically work even on low-end systems if you know just externalize the component of figuring this out to the beginning and set committed to memory. And yeah, which is also why if I create save files using profile variables, which was impossible, my profile variables balloon to about 90 megabyte, and every time you press escape it loads your last 10 debug commands. It would take like 10 seconds to load my debug commands because I tried saving a save game of Ragged Alliance and one of those, and you know, all the inventory and everything, and it's a lot of data. So yeah, and there is now possible, I hear, mission profile namespace, and I think that was created explicitly to allow those kind of things to still be possible. Right, and that's basically how all these bases are created. All of these bases that are, or many of these bases here, not all, because some don't have anchor buildings, so it just creates generic bases for now. But otherwise, you know, here it's referencing, I suppose, one of these native buildings. It has this big and small one as a blueprint. I'll just call them blueprints. This bunker here, this bunker here, I have also created now as a blueprint. That warehouse building, the guardhouse. Let's see, this one, not this one, because I actually think I want to make that one, this one. And yeah, but I'm thinking of making it a little bit more, how should I say, I'm in the midst of rebuilding this entire system as well. Like, I want to use all these buildings as well, like, but not as actual bases, but like as components to bases. Like maybe like there would be a med bay, something in here, like, and that would, you know, like increase the perk of this area to have better healing for, you know, so the enemy, if you attack them, but if you retreat, and then they can heal faster, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, so kind of not yet in there, but you know, the thing of running a script to detect if something is, you know, or if everything is defined to be inside or outside is pretty easy to place, and you know, it's just, in my opinion, it's you can't really read that out of load config. You need to simulate Arma environment and then, you know, go up and down with collision lines and see if it intersects object intersection to find out if something's inside or outside, and you know, that also always requires manual adjustment, like in the case of the ATC where the sandbags are placed on the ground. They are then, you know, scripted to be detected inside because there is an object collision somehow when it goes above. or downwards, but you want it to still be, you know, follow the ground level curve, not, you know, be placed level to the footing of the ATC, and that's where you have to manually intervene and say that sandbag is actually considered to be outside, so please place it on the level the ground is at, not the level of which the building is at. Yeah, but once you got that pinned down, pretty much it is not an unreliable, it is surprisingly reliable. I suppose because I got it pinned down. Yeah. Try it out, and yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah, I don't know. Cheers, right?